Is this the end for the Islamic Republic of Iran? Because for 46 years now, they have been terrorizing Iranian people. They have been terrorizing the region by supporting terrorist groups such as Hamas, Hezbollah, and Houthis. Iran is an absolute gold mine. And in 1979, we had a revolution. We have to keep it real. It was President Carter, the British and the French that were behind that revolution. They wanted to bring down the price of oil. However, soon after, they realized they made a huge mistake. And for 46 years now, we've been having instability in the Middle East, in which Iranians themselves have paid the biggest price. More than 10 million Iranians have fled Iran because of the Islamic Republic. Iran is absolutely beautiful, so there should be no reason for us to immigrate. And I really hope Israel, IDF and Mossad can finish what they started. I call it de-escalation through escalation. They need to win this war. And I salute people like Netanyahu because he knows exactly what is happening. As I said, there will never be peace in the Middle East as long as the Islamic Republic of Iran exists. Okay? So it's in the world's interest that we cut off the head of the snake. If Israel doesn't win this war, which I believe is the front line of democracy, soon we will have this war in Europe and in America. So we have to cut off the head of the snake and we shall destroy the Islamic Republic. And what I would do is I would strike their nuclear facilities and their army bases. Israel has had the go-ahead, and I hope they resume what they started with the support of the United States of America.
Well, they haven't, though, have they had the go-ahead? Because Biden said no, but President Trump said yes.
Exactly, and that's why I will be voting Trump 2024.
But why, Younes, why should people in the United Kingdom care? What would your message be to those at home who might be saying, look, oh, I'm going for a cup of tea?
OK, so look, in 1979, what happened in my country is that we had a bunch of Islamists and a bunch of neo-Marxist liberal types. They colluded and they collaborated together. They collaborated together and they caused the revolution against the Shah, which was a capitalist and more of a libertarian, right? And what that led to is that when the Islamists and the Marxists collaborated to cause a revolution, once the Islamists got into power, they killed all the Marxists and the communists. And they basically double-crossed the Americans and the British and the French. So if you don't think it can happen to you, it can, because I see a rise in woke mentality and liberal, and I also see a rise in Islamists in the UK.
So your view is Israel is the vanguard, is the vanguard forefront of this debate?
100%, and they should be allowed to win this war. This idea that, oh, there should be a ceasefire. Yeah, there should be a ceasefire once the war is finished. As I said, de-escalation through escalation.
We need to realise that these people, we're not just talking about Hamas, we're talking about Hezbollah, we're talking about the Islamic State, absolutely detest anyone that isn't one of them, even in their own countries and, you know, on their own land. So they have said quite clearly that their intention is to wipe the Jews off the earth, and when they're finished with the Jews, they're coming for you and me. And they don't care who you are. They wouldn't care about you, Younes. They wouldn't see you as one of them. You'd go too. So Israel is doing our dirty work, and we should actually stand shoulder to shoulder with Israel, the only democratic country in the Middle East, and support them.
Adam, what I would say is that when people say, and they do say this, when people at home say, why should we care about Israel? Why should we've got issues at home, and I don't doubt that for a second. My word, have we got issues at home. But when we've got people on the streets, and Younes is going to play a clip later on, when we've got people on the streets saying that Hamas are freedom fighters and that Hamas ought to be able to finish these people off, and by these people, by the way, they mean Jews, then we already have this problem in Britain. We brought it here.
Yeah. It's just astonishing on that. We'll talk about the protests later, but I saw on Instagram today 1 year later celebration of October the 7th, which is happening in London. You know, happening today and tomorrow. It's just unbelievable. And so this is all downstream of that.
Never forget, more people died, more Jewish people died on October the 7th than any other time since the Holocaust.
And they're the ones that kill people indiscriminately, because they say, oh, it's Israel that kills people indiscriminately, but it's not actually true. The other side uses human shields, and with Hezbollah, with the whole pager thing, it couldn't be more precise. So I wonder what you think about that.
Well, we talk about the region, right? But one of the tragedies here, actually, is before the war, Israel was normalising relations with a slew of Arab countries, the Abraham Accords signed by Trump, which is actually, I hand it to him, what an incredible thing to have been on the cusp of signing normalisation agreements with Saudi Arabia even, before Iran took this quite calculated move through its proxies, the Houthis, the Hamas and Hezbollah, and now, precipitating what looks like an all-out war. My question is it going to be Israel who is our salvation, or actually the Iranian people? Because from September 22 onwards, we saw the Mahsa Amini protests based on the death of a woman in captivity in a police cell. And actually, the uprising there that we saw, the bravery of footballers that we saw, I think if we see that again and the Iranian people rise up, it will be the final nail in the coffin.
So just one last comment I want to add to this. In order for Islamic Republic of Iran to fall, we need 3 different factors. We need international support, which will be Israel, America, UK, strategically targeting the heads of state and striking the nuclear facilities.
Quite well.
Yeah, exactly. And then we need to combine that with the fact that we need another uprising like the one you said with Mahsa Amini, because I feel like 2 years ago there was a huge uprising in Iran, but we didn't have international support. So they kind of killed their own civilian, threw people in jail, and then it died down. And 3, we need a strong opposition to the Islamic Republic. So someone needs to be there to come and be able to take a power. And they talk about Shah Sadr Reza Pahlavi, but also I would like to help in some way, shape or form to be part of that opposition.
But Younes, what do you make of the dynamic of all of the Gulf states who are much more powerful than the likes of, the Lebanese, Hezbollah, and certainly Hamas? They're all saying, nothing to say.
No, actually, no.
They're saying, look at nasty Israel.
No, I actually disagree with that, because Mohammed bin Salman is actually a very smart guy. He has introduced a lot of reforms in Saudi Arabia where women can sing. They have concerts now, extremely liberated. And all the Emiratis, like the Dubai, the Qatar, even though Qatar, they sponsor terrorists, but they're all trying to become like a bloc, like the European Union bloc. And they're very forward-thinking. Just go and look at what they've done in Dubai.
They are. So, on that note, I think, Kai, you make a really interesting point, actually. Women everywhere in the West should be very, very worried about this. Because if you look across any country, Lebanon, Palestine, all of those countries, Iran, women used to be as free as I am today to wear a bikini in the street if I want to. And now they're covered head to toe.
And if you don't, they'll kill you.
Have you got what it takes to be a reasoned presenter? Well, send us a short clip of yourself to join@reasoned.uk and we might be seeing you on this very channel very soon indeed.